securing our schools, securing our future. Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago, driven by 2 silent threats, diabetes and high cholesterol. But now there's a powerful ally, introducing Berberine Plus by Asia Nutrition, clinically proven to stabilize blood sugar and keep cholesterol levels in check. With 99.9% pure extract, you get superior absorption and real results. Available now at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus, your heart deserves better.
Time Check, brought to you by BioStrath Immune with added zinc. Distributed by H&J Enterprises Limited.
And welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Ria Rambali.
I'm Kijan Haynes.
I am Jassi Marik with sport.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed with your weather report.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. Prime Minister dismisses phone privacy fears, saying she hasn't met anyone concerned about using their devices.
12 weeks without a post-cabinet media briefing. One political analyst questions government's communication strategy.
San Juan Lavatel Corporation refuses to vacate MTS building after eviction threats. Corporation chairman believes they are being politically attacked.
Coming up in sport, Shaniqua Bascom sprints away with silver in a battling run in the Commonwealth Games women's 200-meter final.
If you've been waiting for perfect outdoor weather, the first day of August comes pretty close to it. I've got details on this and more in the weekend weather forecast.
Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar is dismissing suggestions that citizens are afraid to use their cell phones over fears of government surveillance.
Asked by CNC3 News to respond to public concerns about the alleged phone tapping following the arrest of the Hadids and Star Sabga, the Prime Minister said only people involved in criminal activity or those suffering from what she described as derangement and paranoia have reason to worry. Referring to a derogatory term used for people of East Indian descent, Persad-Bissessar said she has not encountered anyone from that community who is afraid to use their phone. She insists the country's security agencies enforce the law without regard to race or social status, adding that those that she described as the fake elite, Escobar and Epstein classes will be treated no differently from an ordinary citizen in Siparia if they break the law. Meanwhile, in response, PNM Chairman Marvin Gonzalez is accusing Kamla Persad-Bissessar of degrading the office of Prime Minister through what he describes as divisive and inflammatory rhetoric.
Gonzalez says the Prime Minister has failed to acknowledge what he claims are genuine public concerns about alleged state monitoring of private phone conversations, alleging that state resources are being weaponized for political purposes. Gonzalez also condemns what he describes as the Prime Minister's repeated use of racial and offensive language, saying her conduct is disgraceful and unbecoming of the country's highest political office. He argues that her actions are fueling division, but insists the resilience of the people of TNT will ultimately prevail over what he calls politics of hatred and division.
It has now been 12 weeks since the government last held a post-cabinet media briefing, a gap that has sparked criticism and renewed concerns about transparency and public accountability.
But government insists it has not abandoned the briefings, maintaining that it remains open, transparent, and committed to acting in the best interest of the people.
Akash Samaru reports.
So at this point in time, I don't know if there are any questions.
This was May 7th this year. The last time the government had a post-cabinet news briefing. That means for the past 12 weeks or 3 months, the government has not come before the public and journalists in a formal post-cabinet media conference setting to account to the public for the decisions taken around the cabinet table. Decisions made in the name of the people and funded by taxpayers. And there have been pressing issues in the last 3 months, from questions about public procurement matters, controversy around the announcement of data centers, another extension extension of the state of emergency, low stock of passport booklets, the use of preventive detention orders, and economic and energy-related matters. It should also be contextualized that this is happening at a time when individual ministers are not having media briefings and mainstream media houses are not being invited to certain government functions. Now, we asked a few members of government if there has been a decision to no longer have the post-cabinet briefings, which are not mandated by law, but have become a staple of public governance in this country's modern-day democracy. Minister in the office of the Prime Minister, Nicholas Morris, responded. He said post-cabinet media briefings will continue, but argued that the UNC administration is accountable to the public every day through ministers' announcements, press releases, media engagements, and ongoing work across government. He contended that the government's performance should be judged by its daily delivery and policy implementation, not by a single weekly press conference, contrasting that approach with the previous administration. But the minister did not say why a post-cap briefing has not been held in the last 3 months. However, political analyst Derek Ramsamouj believes that a media briefing should happen after every post-cap session. And while he acknowledges that the government sends press releases on social media, Ramsamouj says that's not enough.
The method adopted by the present government in communicating suggests a level of political, professional, and public insecurity. The population deserves a rigorous question and answer discussion by all stakeholders.
Ramsamouj said U.S. President Donald Trump has set the standard for communication, where he speaks with the press in structured, unstructured, formal, or informal settings. Meanwhile, the Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago is also expressing concern. Matt says journalists have been unable to question cabinet ministers at a formal press conference for about 3 months, stressing that regular, unscripted access to the Prime Minister and ministers is essential in a democracy. Matt said it had written to the Prime Minister seeking a meeting on the issue and other media concerns, and while she initially agreed, the meeting was postponed following a bereavement in her family. The association has since requested a new date and is awaiting a response. And the former communications minister was also critical with the gap in post-cabinet briefings.
It seems as if accountability is now reduced to next to nothing. It's now social media videos of ministers walking into meetings or smiling across a conference room.
Simon Inobrega says this is beyond political affiliation and should be seen as an affront to the entire population. Akash Samaru, CNC3 News.
A High Court judge says there are reasonable grounds to suspect the PNM cannot readily explain how it financed the renovation and construction of its Balize House headquarters. In a 23-page ruling, Justice Margaret Mohammed outlined her reasons for granting a preliminary unexplained wealth order against the party. The judge said evidence before the court suggested the PNM's wealth may exceed its lawful income, and there were reasonable grounds to suspect money used for the project could be linked to bribery or corruption offenses. Justice Mohammed examined the party's revenue sources, including contributions from MPs and senators and fundraising activities. She noted that the Balize House project could cost up to $118 million, while police argued the party had no obvious legitimate source of income to fund a construction contract of half that value. The ruling also referenced police claims that a contractor reduced its bid from 68 to 59 million and later secured major HGC contracts. Now, the PNM has denied wrongdoing and is seeking to have the order set aside. In other major developments, a standoff is brewing at the San Juan Laventil Regional Corporation.
With a deadline to vacate its longtime headquarters now passed, Chairman Richard Walcott says the corporation has nowhere to relocate after what he claims was a last-minute reversal by the government.
He insists staff will report to work on Monday and says the council is not leaving voluntarily. Kimmery Fletcher reports.
We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. Let them put us out.
Despite a deadline to vacate by July 31st, San Juan Laventil Regional Corporation Chairman Richard Walcott says the council cannot leave its Arangwes Main Road offices, which it has occupied for more than 3 decades, because it has nowhere else to go. He says the corporation had been preparing to move into a new building in El Socorro after being told Cabinet had approved the move. But earlier this week, he says the government changed its mind.
On Tuesday of this week, a senior member of the Ministry of Local Government contacted the CEO at 6 o'clock in the evening when she was leaving office and told her Cabinet has pulled back the approval. And therefore, we have to leave here by today, and they are suggesting that we go to the market and set up office.
With the approval rescinded, he says this leaves approximately 200 employees with nowhere to go.
Total disrespect for the council, total disrespect for the staff. The staff don't know what is happening. People cannot work under this kind of conditions. This is a frustrated matter. How can you perform? Don't know if you'll be out tomorrow. You come to work and you're on the pavement. Nobody knows what is happening.
In his view, this is deliberate.
My personal belief is this is a whole political thing. Because you don't treat agencies like this. You don't do things like that. You come in and you're in a bullying way and want to bully the corporation.
Walcott says Minister of Local Government Khadija Amin contacted him and said she would put arrangements in place for the corporation to renegotiate with MTS so it could remain in the building temporarily. However, he says to date, no official confirmation has been received from either the ministry or MTS.
I feel disrespected and I'm disappointed in the minister. Because the minister came from local government. She understands local government. And I expected from her that she will give local government the respect that it deserves.
He also accused the government of failing to communicate with the corporation, saying staff spent thousands of dollars packing for a move that never materialized.
And I put the blame on the MTS. And I put the blame also on the Ministry of Local Government because they have not been communicating to us as a ministry is supposed to communicate with its agents.
The chairman says staff will report for work on Monday, insisting the corporation will not leave unless members are lawfully removed from the premises. When CNC3 News contacted Minister Amin, she said the matter will be resolved soon, promising that a meeting will be held between the ministry and the corporation.
So I want to give the workers of Sanwa Laventille the assurance that we will work on it, whether they stay in the current space or they move to another building. It will be resolved shortly, and it will be in the best interests of the workers and the public as well.
Opposition leader Penelope Beckles also called on the government to urgently resolve the issue and ensure all regional corporations are treated fairly. But according to Minister Amin, the issue between MTS and the corporation stemmed while under the previous PNM administration. CNC3 News also contacted MTS on the issue but received no response up to news time. K. Marie Fletcher, CNC3 News.
The Amalgamated Workers Union is demanding the immediate payment of outstanding back pay and salary increases for Port of Spain City Corporation workers. At a media conference today, union officials said they settled wage negotiations in April 2025 and were assured that funding would be allocated during this year's mid-year budget review. However, they say that workers have yet to receive any payment.
But the workers of the Port of Spain Corporation is totally disgusted and fed up with the behavior that's going on after signing an agreement for approximately 16 months. And to date, they still hasn't received increase. I am aware of units that sign just the other day, and they get part of back pay, they get the increase and part of back pay. Them sign in December.
When asked if he feared a possible industrial action by the union, Port of Spain Mayor Chinua Allen says the lack of payment is affecting hundreds of workers and it will be up to the union to determine how to address that going forward.
I think that the union has a responsibility to do as it sees fit on behalf of protecting the rights of their workers and their members. The council continues to work closely with the workers, the administration and the union to resolve the issue. We just need the allocation to be given to us by the Ministry of Local Government. We heard a full-throated commitment being given by the minister in the mid-year review. But as you well know, despite the very loud and bombastic commitments that have been made, we have not received the additional allocation that has been promised.
Now, CNC3 News reached out to local government minister Khadija Amin for a response on this issue, but she said she could not talk at the time. Up to news time, there were no responses.
Still to come in the news, questions over Indian cultural additions at UTT's Emancipation Day celebrations.
After public concern, counter-trafficking unit reviews explosive allegations made by self-confessed former human trafficker.
Coming up in sport, the Queen's Park Oval is prepped and ready to host international cricket for the first time in 2 years as the West Indies and Pakistan square off in their series decider on Sunday.
Welcome to a new era of driving in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me introduce to you Omoda and Jeku, two global automotive brands, redefining style, technology, and performance. This is just the beginning.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Countdown to Emancipation Day is on, and the Emancipation Village at the Queen's Park Savannah is already drawing crowds with its vibrant display of African culture, cuisine, arts, and entertainment.
Let's go to our reporter Jensen Levend, who's there with the latest.
Here at the Liji Yasu Omawale Emancipation Village. Now, I've been here for a short while, and all I've tasted so far is wonderful friendliness. And apart from that, a bit of Seymour's tea. Yes, Seymour's tea, not punch. Apart from that, there is breadfruit pizza that I'm dying to try. But before we get into filling my belly, I have with me here one of the organizers behind the Emancipation Support Committee and the Emancipation Village here with me, Nzinga Salandi. Yes, good evening. How are you?
I'm blessed.
Tell us, how has things been for the last couple nights?
Things has been great. We have a nice flow of persons coming through the village every single night, which started on Saturday last and going on. Tonight is the last night. We have a big show on tonight, the Unity concert.
I understand tonight is reggae night.
Right, same Unity reggae concert tonight happening, yes.
And who are some of the stars we can look out for tonight, if you don't want to let the cat out of the bag?
King David, a few. Ziggy, a few, you know. Come down, just come down and enjoy it. It's going to be great.
I understand it's just $40 to get all these top local artists here tonight.
Okay, so before 3 o'clock it's free. So if you don't want to pay, you get into the village before 3. After 3, it is $40 for a big show. Can't get that show anywhere else.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Salandi. Now we're going to find one of the patrons tonight. Ma'am, quickly. Good evening, how are you?
Good afternoon.
How are you doing this evening, and tell us, why are you here this evening?
I am fine, thank you. And I came here to see some of our local craft in Trinidad and Tobago, right? And to find out the history, where it come from, you know? Some of us don't even know where. Some people wear the African clothes and they just wear it for style. They don't know the meaning. They don't know nothing. So apparently here you will teach more and educate you more about the history.
And this is a customary thing for you every Emancipation Day you're here at the village?
This is my first time inside the village, but normally I take part in the march, which will be tomorrow. And normally I do a small business. My business is named Empress Zipporah. My name is Zipporah Mason, and the business is Empress Zipporah. So I have followers on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You know, so a lot of people know my craft.
And I love the necklace. You did that yourself, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah. No, thank you very much. Now, Sigoni, I did find, but I haven't tasted as yet, the charcoal ice cream. So for those of you who are willing to come down to just food, fellowship, fun, fashion, the Ledge Yasu Umawale Village is open. Tonight is the very last night. So if you haven't been here before, now is the time to make your way down. Jens Leven, CNC3 News, Ledge Yasu Umawale Emancipation Village.
Thank you so much, Jensen. I'm sure Sigoni can't wait to taste that ice cream as well.
We'll pass on the message to her. I'm sure she's watching.
But thousands of people across Trinidad and Tobago are expected to gather this weekend to commemorate African Emancipation Day.
It's a day where we honor the abolition of slavery and celebrate the legacy of African heritage. And today we asked, what does African Emancipation Day mean to you? Here's what you had to say.
It means coming together as one, as always, no matter who you pass, who you think, because the way I teach my children is the way to live with everyone.
The removal of slavery for Africans.
But for you, what does that day mean for you?
Knowing that where Africans come from and where we are today is a big difference. So by celebrating this day, take it from where it was to where we are today.
African Emancipation Day meaning that the day that the Africans of Trinidad and Tobago come together as one with the unity. Unity meaning emancipation. Emancipating each other, everybody will come together.
It means freedom. It means it's supposed to be a type of freedom. It's supposed to emancipate yourself. You're supposed to be not in that bondage or entitlement of being locked. This is a day that's supposed to be out, free. It's supposed to be like a carnival. This is how I see it.
It means a lot. It means like in the historical fact, it means that it means freedom, their choices, their religious background, their liberation, the way they dress, the culture.
Well, for me, emancipation is a general thing. It's not about race. Right? And then on top of that, you see, most people believe it's race. And emancipation for me, I believe that now is a time we should get together as one. You know, because the politician and them not doing nothing at the end of the day. And I wish that we could really get together as one people and make this country a better place.
The counter-trafficking unit says it is reviewing allegations made by self-confessed former human trafficker Alex Phillip following a recent Guardian media interview. In a statement, the CTU says the claims, which triggered public outrage, have been brought to the attention of the relevant authorities and are being assessed to determine whether any investigative action is needed. The unit stressed that human trafficking remains a serious criminal offense and said all credible information can assist intelligence gathering and investigations. Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander says allegations of trafficking are treated with the seriousness they deserve and pledged that traffickers will be brought to justice. The CTU is urging anyone with information to come forward and report it confidentially.
Police are investigating the alleged kidnapping and sexual assault of a 15-year-old girl in Cocorit. The incident happened around 6:45 last evening as a teenager walked to a nearby shop at Building 5 Waterhole. According to reports, two men forced her into a black car and drove her to an unfamiliar location where one of the suspects allegedly sexually assaulted her. The suspects later dropped the teen off near the Cocorit walkover and warned her not to tell anyone. The girl immediately reported the incident to her father, who took her to the St. James police station. Investigations are continuing.
In tonight's Business Watch, government officials say policies meant to reinforce the economy are beginning to take shape despite a challenging period in TNT's history.
Meanwhile, automotive dealers expressed relief as the Finance Ministry confirms that exemptions are still in place for mild hybrids.
Peter Christopher reports.
Finance Minister Dave Tanku says the government's financial policies are beginning to take shape. Speaking with the media at the opening of Pennywise's new location at Pennywise Plaza, Trin City, the minister says the development shows there are signs that the economy's strength is returning.
But I think that the opening of this store here by Pennywise is a signal to the rest of the country that there's confidence in the economy of Trinidad and Tobago, there's confidence in the policies of the government, and that things are starting to look much, much better. We're not where we want to be yet, but we are getting there. I think it's a substantial demonstration by the business community of confidence in the economy.
The new Pennywise Plaza is confirmed to be the largest of the 3 across the country. The Pennywise Group also confirms at the opening that it is looking into manufacturing given the ongoing challenges with regard to foreign exchange availability in the country. Meanwhile, Trade, Investment and Tourism Minister Satya Kama Maharaj also believes investor confidence is trending in the right direction in this country. He gave this assessment at the Trinidad and Tobago Special Economic Zones Authority Stakeholder Sensitization event on Thursday.
Everybody's investment confidence is very high and it's growing. It's not where we want it to be, but it's growing.
Meanwhile, the finance minister has also clarified that dealers importing vehicles classified as mild hybrids will still have the exemption despite the change in international customs classifications for such vehicles. Last week, there were concerns that several vehicles such as the Toyota Hyryder and Taser, as well as the Suzuki Front, Grand Vitara, Swift, Ertiga and XL7 were subject to increases following a 2026 adjustment by customs. However, the minister confirms that is not the case.
At this point, the persons who are importing the very same vehicles that they were importing before face no change in the cost to them. So if you have vehicles on the sea, if you have imported vehicles, if you have vehicles at the port, etc., you have no cost, no new costs attached to that.
The ministry issued a release to that effect on Thursday evening, following which the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Automotive Dealers Association that he is happy that the work and research done by his association ahead of 3 meetings held with the ministry led to this resolution. And now for a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices. Peter Christopher, CNT3 Business Watch.
All right, still to come in the news. A race to save the Caribbean's endangered parrots. Experts meet in Trinidad and Tobago.
Springtide comes to an end this weekend. Find out what else is happening on the open waters right after the break.
Hey, man. Where are you? Okay. He said 5 minutes. Anyone want dessert? Maybe he's stuck at the office? Surprise! Not yet, Carl.
Bro, I'm literally at the altar right now.
Relax. I'm almost there.
We're like the friend who isn't always late.
You have the rings.
CG United. Good like that.
It's Jay's exclusive 3-day shoe sale. Get 32% off on all shoes, all stores and online. 3 days only. Don't miss it. JD's exclusive big 3-day shoe sale. JD's, Princesstown, San Fernando, Rio Claro, Gasparilla Mall, and M6 Plaza Shibuanas. Your low price headquarters, JD's.
The biggest party in sport is back. Catch every TKR March live and exclusively on CNC3, August 7th through September 20th. You don't want to miss the action. The Republic Bank CPL 2026, only on CNC3. Passion, energy, and cricket live here. Brought to you by Mega month and deals now on at Fasad's The Food King. Stock up and save big on Ibis flour 10 kg, now just $68. Sweet Hand soybean oil 1.5 liters, just $25. Flavor Right assorted ice cream 3.2 liters, get 2 buckets for just $84. Sir dishwashing liquid 750 ml, 2 bottles, now $21.99. Cotonnier bathroom tissue 24 pack, now just $32. $2. Split peas dal, 400 grams, 3 packs, only $10. Central Farms halal cut-up duck, only $90. Caribbean parboiled rice, 9 kg, just $74.99. Pork leg, now $18 per pound. Don't miss these mega month-end deals at Passad's The Food King. Sale end August 5th, 2026, or while stocks last.
Passad, quality value, that's our way. The real Passad's, we're here to stay. The Food King Passad's.
Today, Barbados pauses to honor one of our greatest sons, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers, who passed away on July 17th at age 89. A sporting legend, a national hero, and an ambassador whose extraordinary talent elevated Barbados on the world stage. Through his excellence, humility, and unwavering pride in his homeland, Sir Gary inspired generations and showed the world the strength of a small island with an extraordinary spirit. You can pay tribute to Sir Gary by visiting sirgarysobers.bb. Thank you, Sir Gary. Rest well. Your legacy lives on.
All right, welcome back. Sigoni, well, Jensen sent a message for you. He said he tried to get you charcoal ice cream.
Yes, he did very much. And if you're heading out to get ice cream into this weekend, that might actually be a good idea because the weather is actually going to permit that kind of event happening.
Indulgence.
Yes, that indulgence. It's going to be hot and dry, and we still have some showers in the forecast. So let's take a close look at that, because you would have noticed that we were expecting rain today, but we didn't really get a lot of it, and that's because we have a significant amount of Saharan dust haze as well present in the atmosphere, pulsing in the Caribbean Sea, but also coming off the African coast and really engulfing the entire region east of us, where we usually see those tropical waves coming in. And unfortunately, the dust is taking over and really breaking up those waves. Not to mention we have wind shear as well coming out from the west. And where those showers were, well, at this time they really stayed north of our islands, bringing much needed rainfall to the northern portion of the region, and they were getting that wet relief while we were stuck in some dry, steamy weather over the last few hours. When we zoom in just a little bit closer, we're seeing all that moisture toward the north, just a little bit of spotty showery activity rolling in on that easterly trade wind, and what we'll encounter over the next few hours will actually be drier, fairer conditions for the most part. Still expecting with some heating, daytime heating as the week progresses, a quick passing shower or two, and there's also a tropical wave in the picture. So right now, outside is relatively fair. We still have a little bit of dust haze present. You'll get a gentle to light breeze in the forecast, and the possibility of an odd brisk shower as the evening progresses within only a few areas. So not everywhere will get that light pitter-patter. Most areas will stay dry for both Trinidad and in Tobago, and you'll notice our temperatures are running warm into this evening's forecast. As we push into the weekend, we do have some dry conditions tomorrow, quick passing showers in the morning. By Sunday, a tropical wave moves into the area. We could see a little bit of instability and some clouds developing with the possibility of a thunderstorm or two in the morning forecast. But as the week progresses into early next week, sunshine and dust haze returns, and it dries out and warms up significantly. So dust haze really takes over this weekend, as well as some steamy temperatures. If you're in Tobago, morning showers tomorrow, the tropical wave rolls in, and you'll get some quick passing showers, but it's not really a lot to talk about. You may just get a gusty wind at times, but for the remainder of the week into the weekend, we see really stable and dry conditions. Now, if that's enough to take you to the beaches, guess what? We're in for some slight to moderate waves out there, well below 1.5 meters in the open waters. Our winds are really light as well, so not a lot going on. Spring tide, it is in effect right now, but it comes to an end on Saturday, so that's good news. But as we push through Saturday, you still want to exercise that extra caution when you're heading offshore, especially during your high tides, because it will be abnormal during the high and the low. So as our seas return to some level of normalcy come Sunday, you will notice that it gets a lot better, and that makes it perfect beach weather if you do decide to venture offshore. So you want to take notice to what's happening to this weekend ahead. It's going to be hot, hazy, good conditions for enjoying some ice cream or maybe a snow cone if you want to do that.
Coconut water.
Yeah, definitely. Just keep yourself cool, hydrated, and look for nice shady areas if it gets too hot out there.
All right.
So good news for everybody going to the Emancipation March in the morning.
Yep, definitely.
All right. Thank you so much, Sigoni. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago, driven by 2 silent threats, diabetes and high cholesterol. But now there's a powerful ally, introducing Berberine Plus by Asia Nutrition, clinically proven to stabilize blood sugar and keep cholesterol levels in check. With 99.9% pure extract, you get superior absorption and real results. Available now at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus, your heart deserves better.
New remedy for the healthy function of the nerves in the feet and legs.
I have been living with diabetes over 10 years, and the nerve pain was becoming unbearable. The numbness, the tingling, the burning became a daily challenge. A friend told me about New Remedy, and after 3 weeks of trying it, there was a marked difference.
Benfotiamine, a synthetic form of thiamine, has been scientifically shown to help relieve many of these symptoms, especially in early cognitive decline. I strongly recommend it as part of your supplement regime and for all patients with nerve problems.
I have confidence in New Remedy because it contains benfotiamine. This has been proven to help with numbness, tingling, and pain in the legs and feet.
As a pharmacist, I strongly recommend New Remedy to all my clients.
If you're experiencing nerve pain like I did, try New Remedy. It worked for me, it will work for you.
New Remedy is available at all major pharmacies nationwide.
The moment my children came into my life, I do everything I can for them to live healthy, enjoyable lives. Nature's Ways Alive Kids Gummies are multivitamin gummies meant to support the development of children's bodies. They come in delicious fruit flavors and contain natural plant-based pectin. This means that if I'm looking for an alternative to animal-based gelatin for personal reasons, they are the best choice for my little ones. Choose Alive Kids Gummies by Nature's Way for your children because they deserve it.
The University of Trinidad and Tobago is facing some social media backlash over its choice of performances at an African Emancipation Day celebration yesterday.
This after the 3-hour event featured Indian instruments and a classical Indian dancer.
On social media, questions were asked about whether the inclusion was appropriate for an event commemorating the emancipation of enslaved Africans.
Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind.
The program was dubbed Uhuru, celebrating freedom, complete with performances and speeches.
We find ourselves and make ourselves through our culture. So somebody teach your culture is impossible.
But not all of the performances are going down well on social media.
Thank you. Let's wait for Susan Moep again. It's a great blend of African and Asian cultures.
And neither are all the speeches.
The theme of this evening's celebration invites us to reflect on the courage, resilience, and determination of those whose struggles against slavery and indentureship shaped the course of our nation's history.
Naturally, on social media, the short clips from the event later circulated, prompting mixed reactions, with some questioning whether the fusion was appropriate for an African Emancipation Day observance. And the questions were asked why there was a juxtaposition between the slavery and indentureship. Interestingly, juxtaposing slavery with other struggles is what prompted former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley in 2024 to rename Emancipation Day African Emancipation Day.
I have noticed at the international level that there are other people who are attempting to climb onto the emancipation bandwagon and attempting to add appendages to it. We in Trinidad and Tobago, who led on this matter, will have none of it, and we make it quite clear that emancipation in Trinidad and Tobago is as a result of the emancipation of slaves.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago does pride itself on being a rainbow nation, but it's been a rough couple weeks for Harmony. Racial slurs heard on leaked private recordings have now led to those slurs being appropriated by the Prime Minister herself. And this controversy comes a week after the Indian High Commission in Port of Spain Ukraine faced widespread criticism for initially scheduling an India Diaspora Day open house on Emancipation Day. The High Commission later postponed the event to August 8th following the public backlash. Now, social activist David Mohammed said he wasn't surprised by the inclusion, saying it was another attempt to make, quote, racial cultural integration an even higher priority than the ideological and economic liberation of African minds, even for a celebration like Emancipation Day, end quote. UTT described the event as honoring the enduring legacy of emancipation while celebrating the significant contributions of African heritage to the social, cultural, and artistic development of Trinidad and Tobago. However, they did not respond to questions from CNC3 News about the social media backlash. All right, Jassy is waiting in the wings, and high on his agenda is, our details on FIFA's backtrack.
Yeah, to say that the condemnation has been strong would be an understatement. And now the global governing body is trying to set the record straight on its proposal to privatize the World Cup. I'll explain after the break. And we'll also catch you up on some of our Caribbean counterparts cleaning up at the Commonwealth Games. Stick around. Sport is next.
Stomach discomfort again? Bloating, cramps, irregular bathroom habits? Meet Vivera, your daily support for a balanced gut. Vivera works fast to help reduce the abdominal pain, ease bloating, and support healthy digestion. It helps restore balance to your gut so you can get back to feeling light, comfortable, and in control. Choose for real digestive relief, safe, effective, and trusted for both children and adults. Now available at pharmacies nationwide. Vivera, feel the difference.
Textbooks, screens, late nights. Your eyes work hard through every class, exam, project, and deadline. Ferrara Optical has eyewear specifically designed to reduce eye strain so nothing holds your learning back. For a limited time, youth get a free frame with lenses from just $495. Scholars get frame and lenses starting at only $750. And lifelong learners save up to 30% off your purchase of advanced lenses like Eisen and Transitions. Less strain, more focus. Your vision without limits. Visit Ferrara Optical in store today. This promotion is NLCB approved.
Only BioStrath gives your body more than 60 of the essential nutrients it needs every day in a product that's 100% natural for stronger immunity, enhanced focus, increased energy and stamina. BioStrath. Get what you need naturally.
Mega month end deals now on at Passad's The Food King. Stock up and save big on Cataly tomato ketchup 750 ml. Get 4 packs for only $20. Clorox bleach 2 liters now $20. Coca-Cola 591 ml. Get 5 bottles for only $20. Fresh Harvest peas and carrots. Get 4 tins for only $20. Green Butterfly evaporated milk 250 ml. Get 3 packs for $20. Golden brand margarine. Get 4 sticks for only $20. Cold soft drink 2 liters. Get 3 bottles for only $20. Cataly pasta cuts. Get 5 packs for just $20. Matook's peanut butter 250 grams. 2 tubs now $20. Don't miss these mega month-end deals at Passad's The Food King. Sale end August 5th, 2026 or while stocks last.
Passad, quality value, that's our way. The real Passad's, we're here to stay. The Food King Passad's.
7 p.m. Sports News, brought to you by Tattle and Tattle Life.
Welcome back. It's time for sport now. Shaniqua Bascom's silver medal performance was the highlight of Day 9 of the Commonwealth Games for Team TTO. Here's more.
22-year-old Shaniqua Bascom was set up nicely in lane 5 for the women's 200-meter final.
And they are away this time. The athletes will power around the bend and try and convert all the speed they've built up over the first 100 metres into the home straight. Adeja Hodge looking good, but not miles ahead of the other athletes. Bascom of Trinidad and Tobago matching her through the first 100 metres.
Coming out of the bend, Bascom was in contention, but soon, like the rest of the field, had to play catch-up to the eventual winner and NCAA champion Adesha Hodge of the British Virgin Islands. Hodge clocked 22.07 seconds to win the gold. Bascom claimed silver in 22.35, and Jamaican Alana Reid completed a Caribbean 1-2-3 with bronze in 22.56 seconds.
Coming to the ring from Trinidad and Tobago, Nigel Paul.
Boxer Nigel Paul will share a bronze medal in the men's 90 kilogram and over weight class after meeting and losing to India's Narendra in the semi-final on Friday. After a tentative start, Narendra took control of the first round, landing sharper, cleaner blows to the body of his TNT opponent. The judges agreed and scored him 10-9 winner on all 5 cards. And after a similar outcome in the second round, it meant Paul had to come onto the front foot in the third and final one, but with Narendra fully in control, only a knockout would deny him entry to the final. And as hard as Paul tried to force the eventuality, it did not come.
Totals, we have a unanimous decision. The winner in the red corner from India,
In cycling, all 3 of this country's team sprint bronze medal winning cyclists progressed out of the first round in the men's keirin and into the repechage. But that's where the road ended for Zion Pulido and Jacine Phillip. Only Nicholas Paul pedaled into the semi-final and in fact went all the way to the final via a third-place ride in that semi-final heat. But in the final, Nico was just off the podium. The men's keirin gold went to World Cup winner Malaysia's Mohamed Awang, with Australia's Lee Huffman taking silver and bronze going to England's Harry Ledingham Horn. Paul's TNT teammate Jadian Neves finished in a commendable 9th in the men's elimination. And TNT's netball program was completed today with the Calypso girls beaten 78-39 by the hosts. They finished 12th in the 12-team competition. Meanwhile, the medal hunt has dried up in Santo Domingo at the CAC Games as TNT's athletes toiled without reward on day 8.
Olympian Zuri Ferguson placed 4th in the women's 100-meter backstroke final this evening in a time of 1.0267. The event was won by Mexico's Celia Pulido in 1 minute 0.83 seconds, followed by fellow Mexican Miranda Grana in second, while Colombia's Jasmine Pistelli was third. Earlier, Ferguson won her qualification heat in 1 minute 3.05 seconds. Meanwhile, Liam Carrington, who won silver in the men's 50-meter backstroke on Thursday night, was also 4th in the 100-meter variation, touching the wall in 54.86 seconds. Mexico's Marcus Reyes came away with gold in 53.84. Bermuda's Jack Harvey took the silver medal and was closely followed by Aruba's Patrick Grota. Carrington had clocked 56.26 seconds to finish second in his qualifying heat, booking his spot in the final. On the basketball court, Team TTO's women lost to Costa Rica 68-54. TNT was led by a game-high 20 points and 9 rebounds from Jamila James. Carissa Ramdial added 13 points and 6 assists. And in hockey, Team TTO's men were ruthless in their Group A clash with Honduras, demolishing them 10-0. Rajiv Surat Singh, CNC3 Sport.
In cricket now, West Indies captain Ruston Chase says they'll wait until Sunday to determine the makeup of the team for Sunday's second test match against Pakistan at the Queen's Park Oval. The West Indies took a 1-0 lead, winning the first test at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy by 90 runs on Tuesday. That time, the Pacers did most of the work, but the spinners are set to be favoured at the Oval. And at today's training session, Chase was keeping his cards close to his chest.
This wicket is a lot bare. It doesn't have any grass like the Brian Lara facility, so I think it may offer a bit of spin, but I had a chat with the groundsman. They said they don't think it may spin as big as we expect, so I think closer to the day of the game we'll come up with that combination.
Meanwhile, Queen's Park Cricket Club President Jeffrey Gillen is welcoming international cricket back to that venue. The Oval gets its first taste of international cricket for the first time since 2024, and the 8th meeting between the two rival teams is a decider in that series. It kicks balls off on Sunday morning. FIFA is now seeking to clarify the objectives and parameters of its controversial World Cup privatization proposal that has been hit with severe backlash since being first announced earlier this week.
After days of backlash from major football stakeholders, which included a unanimous decision by UEFA to boycott future World Cups, FIFA is seeking to clarify its proposed plan to sell a stake in the World Cup to private investors. Late on Thursday, FIFA said it respected feedback and concern generated, but claimed that media reports preempted a planned consultation process. This week, via its official communications channels, FIFA announced plans to sell a $20 billion stake in a new company to be called FIFA Forward Enterprises, or FFE. That company, along with private investors, will run the commercial operations of the World Cup. UEFA, the English FA, the UK Prime Minister and CONCACAF, among other stakeholders, condemned the idea immediately, terming it the sale of football. In its latest statement, however, FIFA said FFE is intended to give all member associations meaningful ownership of commercial opportunities in football. Instead, FIFA sought to clarify the proposal, noting that while FFE will be responsible for FIFA's commercial event delivery, the commercial value created will be shared among the 211 member associations. Regardless of whether a member association supports the proposal or not, each will receive $20 million in development funding, and that funding would come directly from the FFE's windfall from commercial activities. A further $20 million disbursement to member associations would become available should the FFE proposal proceed, which would only occur with majority support from member associations. Well, news just coming to hand. In a statement that came in just about 15 minutes ago, FIFA President Gianni Infantino said, quote, "Having listened carefully to all the views, it has become clear that the project has created divisions of a nature that, regardless of the level of support, are no longer in the interest of the objective set out in the first place. As a result, this proposal will not proceed." Let's get you accustomed, or rather acclimatized, to what's happening in the world of sport around the region.
Grenada's Lyndon Victor claimed Commonwealth Games decathlon gold with 8,096 points, finishing 60 points clear of Canada's Damian Warner. Victor's season best secured the title ahead of Warner's 8,036 points. The Bahamas celebrated its first medal of the Commonwealth Games as Devin Charlton stormed to goal in the women's 100-meter hurdles on Thursday. Charlton clocked 12.33 seconds, holding off Jamaica's Megan Simmons. The victory also extends Bahamas' streak to 3 consecutive Commonwealth Games with at least one athletics gold medal. There was more history for the region as Dominica's Thea Lafond captured the women's triple jump crown with 14.60 meters, securing her nation's first ever Commonwealth Games gold medal and completing her own full set of Commonwealth medals after bronze in 2018 and silver in 2022. And in CPL news, the St. Lucia Kings have named West Indies Test captain Roston Chase as skipper for the 2026 Caribbean Premier League. The experienced Barbadian all-rounder who helped the Kings win the 2024 title says it's a tremendous honor to lead the franchise, which also holds special meaning through his St. Lucian roots. The Kings opened their campaign on August 9th against the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons in St. Vincent. Rajiv Surat Singh, CNT3 Sport.
All right, well, Shaniqua Bascom battles her way into tonight's Sport High.
With a good lane assignment and a confident smile, Shanika Bascom came bursting out of the blocks, matching strides with the British Virgin Islands' Adeja Hodge through the opening 150 meters, before the latter pulled away to chest the tape. But Bascom's gutsy effort sealed her a silver, and for leaving everything on the track and producing a performance worthy of the moment, Shanika Bascom gets tonight's CNC3 Sport High.
Great week for TNT Sport comes to an end.
All right, thank you so much, Jassy. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Life. What a wonderful journey we're on. Each stage is unique. And at Tata Life, we not only understand, but also appreciate that you'll have different needs at different times. So trust us to protect you and yours with our comprehensive range of financial planning solutions to ensure that you never, ever have to worry. To learn learn more, contact a Tata Life advisor or visit tatalife.co.tt today. For the many stages of your life, Tata Life, a member of the Answer McCall Group.
All right, and now it's time for a look at our regional roundup.
Arguments in the election petition case involving St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Goodwin Friday and Foreign Affairs Minister Fitzgerald Bramble are expected to begin when the matter returns to court on August 31st. Senior counsel Anand Ramlogan, representing Dr. Friday and Bramble, says he remains confident in their case. But senior counsel Stuart Young, who is representing petitioners Luke Brown and Carlos Williams, says his clients are equally confident of success. The Bahamian government and opposition are blaming each other for Thursday's island-wide power outage. Officials say a suspected underground cable fault and explosion at the Blue Hill power station triggered the blackout, the second major outage in less than a month. Barbados' economy grew by an estimated 1.4% in the first half of 2026, led by strong domestic sector activity. The central bank expects overall economic growth of about 2% this year, with tourism remaining steady.
From here, we take another short break. We have more for you up next.
Shiklisha Limited, the Caribbean's largest manufacturers of plain and printed paper bags, leaders in plastic bags, vermicelli, split piece powder, and greaseproof paper, ideal for doubles, french fries, and sandwiches. Supplying stores nationwide. For quality products, trust Shiklisha Limited, 665-3336.
Today, Barbados pauses to honor one of our greatest sons, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers, who passed away on July 17th at age 89. A sporting legend, a national hero, and an ambassador whose extraordinary talent elevated Barbados on the world stage. Through his excellence, humility, and unwavering pride in his homeland, Sir Gary inspired generations and showed the world the strength of a small island with an extraordinary spirit. You can pay tribute to Sir Gary by visiting sirgarysobers.bb. Thank you, Sir Gary. Rest well. Your legacy lives on.
The Caribbean's forests are home to some of the world's rarest parrots, but conservationists warn those birds are now under growing threat.
Sigoni Mohammed tells us why protecting these birds is much more than saving a species.
We love parrots because of their charisma, and talking about their conservation is hard. So I think that eventually what we need to do is make the message very clear, is that parrots belong in forests. That is what everyone should know. No caged parrot right now is living its best life. These are birds that have a necessity, a biological instinct to have long-ranging flights, and we can never provide that in captivity.
But keeping them in the forest is becoming increasingly difficult. The Caribbean has 11 endemic parrots, species found nowhere else in the world, and all 11 are in danger. That warning brought conservationists together in Trinidad and Tobago for the first Caribbean Parrot Conservation Summit.
All of our 11 endemic parrots are internationally threatened, and a lot of them have even a greater endangerment status within their respective countries.
This is mainly due to poaching, the illegal pet trade, deforestation, and increasing hurricane activity, all of which are placing pressure on already vulnerable parrot populations. Trinidad and Tobago knows what that loss can mean. The blue and yellow macaw disappeared from our forests before being reintroduced, making this country's experience both a conservation success story and a warning about the cost of the pet bird trade.
At one point in time, the blue and yellow macaw populations were totally extirpated in Trinidad. So every blue and yellow macaw you see now is an introduced species. It's introduced to rebuild the population because all the native birds have been trapped out for the pet trade.
TNT's rich bird life is being squeezed by several pressures at once, including habitat loss, and the concern is not confined to macaws on this island. In Jamaica, conservationists are tackling another part of the problem, education. The island has 2 endemic parrots, and campaigners say since Hurricane Melissa, seeing these birds alive and free can change attitudes towards keeping them in cages.
When you educate them about what it's about, what are the names, and especially when we actually have endemic parrots only found in Jamaica, immediately it's just like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have kept that one in a cage. Maybe I should tell my friend to release his own. So the appreciation really comes through education and intentional engagement of showing them what a parrot habitat looks like, what a parrot in flight looks like, and how nice it is just to see a bird and then to see that bird be.
For a region selling its natural beauty to the world, protecting these birds also means protecting the forests, biodiversity, and nature experiences on which Caribbean communities and tourism increasingly depend. Sigoni Mohammed, CNC3 News.
Such beautiful birds. I love to see them making their way across the savannah on an early morning. But, I mean, Sigoni, this was your story.
Yeah, and it was interesting. You know, parrots have their own languages as well amongst themselves. And if you have a parrot, you're likely to outgrow that parrot. And then what are you going to do with it? You'd have to let him or her go. So just save our parrots from now. Let them be free. Free the birds.
Do any of you all have parrots?
I had one. My grandfather had one when I was a child. And all I remember is him calling it by the name Cockot. I don't know where that came from.
They all have that familiar name. But
I'm usually just told I eat parrot for breakfast.
Oh, no.
Okay. Right.
Parrot anatomy, yeah. All right. Well, that's how we end the 7 p.m. news here this evening. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ria Rambali.
I'm Kijan Hayes.
I am Jassy Marie.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed. Have a great weekend ahead.